Alright, hey yo, it's a hoodie here back again with another video. And when it comes to choosing which heroes I do these kind of videos on, I kinda have just been all over the place really. Most of the videos have been about fighters that maybe nobody's really interested about. But today I want to start like some kind of routine of sorts where I don't repeat the same class of hero. So like if I do a video about a tank, for example, I won't be doing another video about another tank until I have done a video about one hero within every other class. It might be maybe sort of confusing at first when you hear it, but it makes sense once you'll see me done with like the first batch of heroes. And so, as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm gonna be starting off the new, the new schedule with a mage. So, in this episode of Mobile Legends Pros and Cons, I will be talking about Lunox. As someone who is used to playing tanks all the time, I can find it very weird when I play a carry role hero and, let's say I died of something in like 2 to 3 shots. But with Lunox, I kind of don't get that same feeling with her. And let me explain why. So, one of my favorite things about Lunox is definitely her independence as a mage, because not only can she dish out large amounts of damage with her ultimate, but if she's in danger, she can offer herself a little bit of seconds of, survivability and invulnerability with her other light ultimate. Plus, even if she doesn't have her ultimate up, she can always use her light skill during a wave to heal up a bit. So definitely one of my favorite things about Lunox, and a definite pro in my opinion, is how independent she is compared to other mages. You might have someone like Eve, for example, that before Moonsun gave her that big ass broken shield whenever she uses her ultimate, she honestly would be pretty easy to kill, because even though she would do a lot of damage, she would have to stay in one place, and since she doesn't have any sort of survivability, she would be easy to kill. But with Lunox, she can not only dish out large amounts of damage, like I said, but she can also, survive on her own, which I definitely like. One point that further proves her independence as a mage is the fact that some pro players will actually use her in these side lanes because, she can heal herself and she can do a lot of damage, thus making her a good pick for the side lane, a very independent role. Another definite pro that I appreciate about Lunox is the fact that she is viable throughout all the stages of the game. So, you take someone like Natalia, for example, who is designed to be as annoying as possible during the early game because, she primarily does burst damage. Meanwhile, someone like Alduis, who, builds up his stacks, so like that he can do a lot of damage in the late game. But with Lunox, she may not deal the most damage out of everyone on her team sometimes, but she has a very sustainable amount of damage throughout the whole game because of her ultimate. Her ultimate, allows her to spam her skill, her dark skill, and that could do a lot of damage in team fights depending on who you decide to attack. Now, even though she is viable throughout any stage of the game, I'm gonna be calling this next con choose wisely, because even though she can be either tankier or more offensive, she could only be one thing at a time, right? And so choosing which mode to be in is definitely an important part of Lunox's playstyle, because if you have the wrong ultimate up, then maybe that could have stopped you from, let's say, saving an ally, or from saving yourself if you have 2 points in dark mode and you can't reach to light mode quick enough. So really, while this may sound confusing, I think it's the Lunox's difficulty as a hero does not come from her normal skills. Those skills are easy. Those skills can target onto the enemy, so you never really miss with them. But with her ultimates, that's when things start to get a little tricky. You need to know when to use dark ultimate, when to use light ultimate, and things like that. But I would say that even though she can do 2 things, she can only do one of those 2 things at any given moment. However, even though I do consider this a con, I think this is one of those things that it's actually a helpful con, because that's what makes Lunox a good hero in the first place, in my opinion, or at least a hero that you can have fun playing. Since you know that you need to, like I said, be smart about which mode you're in, and that extra layer of complexity. I don't actually think that any other mage has that in the game, where you can either decide to, you know what, I want to be a little tanky, or you know what, this time I want to do a little bit more damage. And that kind of playstyle, for me at least, I had fun playing it while trying to get gameplay for this video. Now, what is not a helpful con for Lunox is the fact that she can only target one person at a time when she uses her Dark Ultimate. So, since her Dark Ultimate, primarily makes up most of her damage, you really need to be smart about where you position yourself in a team fight, since, Lunox doesn't do splash damage unless she uses one of her light skills, but, those don't really hit as hard as her Dark Ultimate. So you definitely need to be smart, since if you decide to, jump into a team fight, then you're only gonna be able to kill one person at a time. So definitely make sure to place yourself correctly, so like that you're not only in range for your ultimate, but you're also like just far away enough, so like that you won't get hit while you're trying to spam your second skill, your dark skill. Ever since she came out, Lunox has actually been a pretty good hero, regardless of whatever meta she's in, and I think that says something about her as a character and how she's designed. Lunox, like I said, she's very independent, she can survive on her own, and actually, if you were to look at the win rates, the highest win rates among the heroes this season, even though it is, a little bit too soon to say what heroes are good or what heroes are bad in terms of this season's meta, I think, it says something about Lunox when she is actually one of the highest win rates in the whole game right now for high elo. So definitely, I think Lunox, if you're planning to learn a mage or you want to be a mage main, then I definitely do recommend that you learn Lunox, because she has a lot of benefits to her, and plus she's somewhat hard to play, but in a fun way. If you disagree with me, definitely let me know in the comments below, and while you're at it, like and subscribe. Anything like that helps a small channel like this one. And other than that, thanks for watching until this point, and that's pretty much it. See ya.